enough. My mind is fixed on what it wants. I just let you beat me. Look at me deceiving. Let you get the best of me. In bed we're growers than me. This is a no-go. I just can't take hold. This is a danger zone. Back up and get me home. This is a no-go. I just can't take hold. This is a danger zone. Back up and get me home. Put your hand in mine. Follow me. Let me waste your time. Set up feet. Do some stupid shit. Take a seat. Let me waste your time. Top of time.
Okay, that's it. We just wrapped up our 3-day stint here at Elkridge Lodge in Waskesiu, Saskatchewan. Who would have thought? As a Canadian, I admit that I fall into the stereotype or have the perception that Saskatchewan is only flatlands and prairies, and there's a beauty in that in itself. The land of the living skies, the open views, the sunsets, the storms, the blowing wheat fields, it's all amazing. But when you come a little bit more north, the boreal forest shows up, Canadian Shield starts showing up a little bit more north, and you start getting lakes and forests, and there's hiking and biking and just things to do up here. And so I wasn't even done our first day in Waskesiu and I was already thinking about coming back. I don't want my kids to become entitled. In fact, I think that might be one of my biggest fears as a parent. We just wrapped up 3 days in Waskesiu, Saskatchewan, staying at Elkridge Lodge. And we managed to give our kids a wide, diverse range of experiences while visiting and checking out the area. Before we got big on Instagram, we were already intentionally carving out a life full of outdoor adventure, valuing experiences over things. Now that our Instagram reach has grown to the size and scale that it is, we are able to reach out to businesses, hotels, companies, brands, resorts like this one. And in exchange for complimentary stays or free stuff, we're able to make content around it. This is the world of influencing. It's still something that I'm surprised to find myself navigating. Elkridge Lodge hooked us up with 3 days accommodation, and that served as a hub for us as a family to explore the Waskesiu area. Courtney and I were also able to sneak in a round of golf thanks for Grandma coming up for 1 day to join us. I also want to give a shout out to the Grey Owl Center and Trio 6 for hooking us up with the tools and equipment needed to have adventures on the water, around town, and in the trees. Coming in hot! In the past, many of these activities and experiences would have been out of our reach financially. We would have maybe been able to afford one activity or rent one piece of equipment, but the last 3 days in Waskesiu were action jam-packed, full of a good time. Hey, August and Luca, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? We had a golf cart too? This might be the highlight of your day, the golf cart.
My name's Alex, this is Regan, and we're going to go over a couple rules. Our number one rule here on the zip line, all that metal gear we have attached to you, carabiners, the trolleys, anything like that, we don't want you to touch. Sound good? Now if you do fall off, you'll be the first, so we'll laugh at you a little bit, take a quick photo, and then we'll get you back home. Sound good?
Take your time.
Thought that I knew better. Keep falling for your innocence, acting like you're into me. I know this is hopeless. Moving in slow motion, trying to control my thoughts, but I can't stop my thoughts.
Keep your knees up high. Knees up, knees up.
I just can't take it. This is a danger zone. Back up and get me home. This is a no-go. I just can't take it.
So, cannonball. Once you leave the platform, same takeoff as one. Once you leave the platform, bring your knees up. Definitely need to scream.
Screaming makes you go faster, they said.
Well.
Luca!
Perfect.
How was that, bud? Look at the golf course, guys. Woo! And flip! Gotta flip! Go! Okay, we've got one more zip line here, our last and final one. I think it's a tandem one. The one thing that's been really neat on this tour so far is Trio 6, they add an added element or a challenge each time we do a zip. So the first one, people are just getting the hang of it. No pun intended, but we just hang out, go normal. And then every time we do a zip or a bridge, they just sort of add a challenge that kind of pushes you outside your comfort zone a bit more. And I think that's a really cool thing because it's just an expansion thing, a growing thing. It's, you know, and obviously if you're really gripped and just want to do the basics, you can do that too. So the guides have been great. This has been a really fun tour. I'm so glad the boys got to experience this. Okay. Oh no! August! Whoa, bud! Whoa! Oh, I spun around too much.
Steps there.
Don't hit the wall and don't hit a car, please. We're on a quadricycle here in Waskesiu from the Grey Owl Center, and the kids are really stoked on these things. We're a mountain family, as many of you know watching. We usually do adventures in the mountains, but here we are in the flatlands of Saskatchewan.
It brings families together, and it gives young kids some independence when they kick mom and dad off.
He designed those quadricycles, guys.
And I was 21 when I did that, guys. I've invented a few things, so we let the creative spirit rock.
That's so cool. These are pretty fun. Well, I've never been on a quadricycle before. Have you, August?
No.
We're just by Waskesiu Lake at the beach right in town here. This is a national park in Saskatchewan, and the park is amazing. The Grey Owl Center allows you to rent bikes, so we got to check out these quadricycle things, which we have never been on before. The kids really like those are a lot of fun. And we also got to check out some SUPs. We got one stand-up paddleboard and a kid kayak, which Luca has always really enjoyed, those little short kayaks. I think you can get them at Costco. But they're just so easy for the kids to maneuver. So we're just having a great day of summer.
We can always stay a little longer. We don't have a plan. Just let me live a little younger than I really am. We've got nothing here to save us from ourselves. Let's live life like it's made up, jump in the wishing well. We are wanderers, nothing can stop us.
Coming to Saskatchewan with our adventure hats on has been a new experience for me, and Waskesiu did not disappoint. I'm feeling incredibly grateful, as I often do, for our experiences on this trip and for the experiences that we get to provide our kids. These guys are crushing it right now, having a good time. Thanks, Waskesiu. It was a great day. Did so many different sports. Navigating the world of being a social media influencer brings with it both an excitement and a slew of new uncertainties and problems. Some people might think the only reason my content blew up on Instagram and TikTok is solely because of the cute kids we have. Critics would even go so far as to say I'm using my kids for views and for fame. But I know down in my heart, I can feel it in my body. This journey feels expansive. And the interactions and responses I get in my DMs, in my comment sections from people just enjoying the entertainment and being encouraged and inspired to take on adventures of their own, it just feels aligned. And I know this journey is going to lead us to places and experiences that my head can't even fathom or wrap my head around. I can sense that we're on the cusp of all my late night editing hours
starting to pay off. For anyone who doesn't know, video editing takes a lot of time.
Finally getting to check the pool out here at Elkridge Lodge. We've been so busy exploring Waskesiu. Kids just love a pool. Nothing has to be pool, the slide's even better. But out of all the adventurous fun things we do, sometimes the pool is like their favorite thing.
And with that comes this new chapter in our digital content journey that has our kids getting to experience all sorts of activities and things that they might not otherwise have been able to experience. I guess I feel compelled to share this, just to be transparent and to keep it real. I want to continue down this content creator path, navigating the social media influencing world, all the while staying true to myself, learning and growing along the way. And maybe if I can figure out how to do that, my kids are going to be able to develop a sense of gratitude that will go on to serve them and others later in life. Otherwise, they'll likely just turn into some spoiled, entitled brats.